Okay, that work now? Thank you for telling me. I wonder if you can see. All right. All these people signed, all the people that signed down there, they were the richest bigwigs in America. They had everything to lose. They weren't poor. They were famous. And by signing it, they knew they were declaring treason. They were committing treason. And they knew they'd lose. Because you can't beat the British military with no military. They don't have a military. They have a bunch of farmers with guns that don't shoot straight. At the end of it, they said, and for the support of this declaration, with firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And they literally did. Some of them lost everything they had. Some of them did die. Today, honor doesn't mean anything. Lie, cheat, steal, get what you want, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Back then, honor meant something. And they signed this standing by what they meant, and they were gonna what's that, John Hancock? Remember when he said, I want to write it so you can tell who it is without the glasses on. But these guys that signed this, they were special people. Because I don't want to hurt. And I don't want to, I wanted to live my life and have supper and sit on the couch every once in a while, and they were willing to risk everything for that, knowing they were going to lose. Because you can't beat, Paradise Panthers can't beat the Green Bay Packers in a football game. You just can't. And we have a team. So we're ahead of what the colonists were. Let's see. They created, they signed it. They voted on the Declaration of Independence July 2nd, and said yes. Then they polished it up, got a cleaned up copy, and that's the actual, so that's why July 4th is actually Independence Day. It's actually signed the actual document in. They voted on the rough draft the 2nd. When they created the Articles of Confederation. This is the last thing I'll do. Remember what a confederation is? We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Confederacy. It's where the states are important, but the country's not. You join this club, and we may or may not participate. We're just part of this club, but the states are important. Massachusetts, Virginia, South Carolina. That's important, not the country. It was a car. It was too weak to do the job on purpose. That government. It was a car without an engine. We did this last week. Okay. They didn't want to get in a wreck. There was no executive, no president, no prime minister, no king, because they didn't want anything close to what they had. There was no federal courts. It was a non-existent court, cannot throw you in jail illegally. There was no taxes, no federal taxes. They had to beg the colonies to give them money. There was one vote per state. So that meant Rhode Island was more important than Massachusetts. Why do I say that? Massachusetts has this many thousands of people. Rhode Island had this many thousands of people. Make it the same vote. It took 9 out of 13 votes to get anything passed. That's a huge majority. And it was a unanimous vote to change the Articles of Confederation. This government couldn't do anything. But they did it on purpose because they wanted it to be too weak to take their rights away. When I make lemonade, I'll put, I have to have fake sugar, so I put a little fake sugar in, then I put the lemon juice in. And I always put just a little bit too little lemon. I don't want too much lemon juice in it, so I start out with too little, because you can always add some. You can't take it away. Does that make sense? They really knew it was too weak, and they figured we could always add to it later. We don't want to set up something that's too much. Okay. One more thing. One more. How did they win? Some big, let's say some 6'4", 240-pound guy whose waist is like this. So if he's 240 pounds, his waist is like this. Where's everything else? Legs and arms, right? If I come in and he's beating up little Christy and little Titan, do I have a chance against him? Anybody put money on me? No, because this guy's big, he's huge. What's the only thing that gives me a chance? Right here. He's smacking around a little 5-year-old. I'm a pretty tough guy, and I see him slap little Christy in the face. So I'm, you know. The reason they were able to win is because they had a cause, or a cuss. Cause. They had a belief. They were fighting for something. Why did the British military fight? They were told to. These guys were fighting because they wanted to. They believed in something. And that always gives you more power than what you got. Second thing was home field. Number A, I say A, on home field. They actually knew the land. It was their home, so they knew where to hide, they knew where to ambush. They invented guerrilla warfare, not guerrilla warfare, but guerrilla warfare, where you didn't line up. You know, in the old days, just line up, and you had a guy on an old man on a horse with a sword and said, "Fire!" And the first row would go, and then they start loading, "Fire!" And then step up, the next guy, and then they just did it orderly like that. Forward! Retreat! Everything was orderly. Americans weren't orderly. They didn't know that stuff. So they knew the land. And the second part of that is, they might be fighting and look over and see their church steeple, or see their friend's farm, or maybe even see their place. So they literally were fighting for their land. And last, and least, at the end, right at the very end, the French stepped in and said, "Oh, you're not getting your butts kicked. Okay, we'll step in and we will help you." So they sent their navy, they sent some people. At the end, the French helped.
Just despite the British.
Yeah, at the end. But this is not the reason. We might have done it without them, but that's the real reason. That's the second reason, and the French helped. Okay. Good enough. Thank you. Appreciate it.